What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back again to another Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. Welcome again. You're here with me, your host, Brandon Groce, and we have some super exciting things happening today. I want to say hello to you guys in the chat. We have Gareth, Chris, Miss Fergie, what is happening? And we have the sir himself, Sam. What's happening, guys? And hello again from all of you guys over on India. Today, let's talk about what we have for today and all the way, not all the way. If you guys are interested and or are new to Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge, put one in the chat or just say hi. We're glad that you're here. All right, so let's talk about what we have for today in our challenge. And also just to give you guys who are new a little bit of a taste on what we're doing today. All right, so there's two links down in the description, whether you are on YouTube or Behance, and that is for our project starter file if you want to follow along with what we're going to be doing today, and our link to really bring you to the challenge page, which we're looking at right now. So this challenge is going all the way from July 26th to August 20th. So you guys have a ton of time to get into all the cool things that we've done this far, all the way back from July 26th. And also, do not forget, when you come to this page, join our amazing community. We have tons of mentors, Adobe fam, and just amazing people who are creating cool things in Adobe XD every day that you can also contribute to, but also learn from. Amazing community. So, how it works, obviously we get a challenge every single day, and today we are going to be working on an event booking website. We're going to design a landing page for an event booking website and add additional animations and interactions using prototype mode. So with that said, let us hop in. By the way, I just wanted to show you guys, I got some, you guys know how I do. I love getting inspiration for what we bring here, and I'm absolutely in love with Tubic and this animation that they have put together for, pretty sure it was done in After Effects, but I was like, you know what, we can do this in After Effects, in Adobe XD, so that's what we're doing today, and it looks the exact same. So let us dive into, I always like doing this, I'm going to show you what you will be able to do with what we're doing today. It's a nice little load-in animation, exactly as it was in the Dribble file. Of course, I always slow things down just so you can see all the different things that we'll be doing. You can speed it up, back it up, or do your own thing as you are designing. So, because I am so nice, I have given you actually the fully complete design in our starter file, and what we're going to do today is work backwards. Rosie says, good selection, Brandon. I also follow Tubic's work. See, we looking out for you guys. We look out. Sathara said, yesterday what you saw was my work. That's awesome. That is really cool. See, we have such cool people in our community. So what we're going to do is, since this is our end goal, this is where we want the animation to end up, and also to go back here. So we have, this is where we're ending up, and we're just designing backwards. How do we want to animate to where we are? So how and what we're going to do is we're gonna, okay. My mouse already started doing it before me. He was like, you said duplicate it, I got you. I'm just gonna hold Alt and I'm gonna duplicate this backwards. And I am going to, first thing, let's take a look at, so let's see how this animates in, actually, you know what? I've already done this work, so let's just, let's just work from there. So the last thing that's gonna come in is our search bar, our little back bar here, and our little subtext there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull that off of our, off of our screen for now. So we're gonna be, first off, let me go ahead and prototype this. I'm going to test to see if this works, because our friend Igor, if you don't know who Igor Vensko is, definitely type his name into either YouTube or just the Google. Amazing designer inside of XD, amazing tutorials as well. So what we're gonna do is I'm just prototyping this. His tip to me was to prototype things prior to moving things on the artboard, because if you, okay, let me not say because it didn't work. I don't know why. All right, so what we'll do instead is, and if anybody knows in the chat, Fergie, you probably know since you're here, the way to make sure things stay on the artboard even though you drag them off. There should be a way to do that, and I don't know why it escapes me every time. I do it in practice, it works, but every time I've tried to do it on Adobe Live, it's just like, no, thank you. So we'll see what happens. What I'm going to do instead to kind of fix that is I'm just going to group all of my assets here. I'm going to group them. I'm going to call this nav bar or search bar. I'm glad Fergie is also stunting for Igor as well. Yeah, all right, search bar, boom. I'm just renaming my layers here, because what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna pull this stuff off the artboard, and I have to group them because I don't want them to actually literally fall off the artboard. I want them to still be there. I'm gonna pull this down as well, and I'm gonna stagnate them because I want these things to come in one after another. And if you've been here in the Daily Creative Challenge with me before, you guys have seen, let me pull this back onto the artboard just a little bit because we don't want it to actually get lost. There we go. You've seen that the further things are from the artboard, they actually come in a little bit later when it comes to animation. It's a way for us to actually control animation speed without us having any of the other fancy nozzles like we do in After Effects. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do here, I'm just gonna show the prototype that we have so far. So what we have, and we're not gonna do a tap trigger, we're gonna go ahead and do time. Delay, for right now, we're gonna end up changing this, but for right now we're gonna do a delay of 1 second just because we actually wanted to see it happen. Our easing, we'll do snap, and we're gonna have I'll do 0.4 for now. We can always go back and change it. And it all came together for some reason. Very quickly indeed, actually. All right, so what we're gonna do, and that's totally fine, but I want these things to come in a little bit later. So let's see, I'm gonna reverse these. I'm gonna have the background come in first. And I'm gonna have that search bar come in a little bit later. There we go. Still pretty fast. We can slow this down a little bit by going to prototype, and rather than 4 seconds, we'll do 0.8. Let's see what we got there. There we go. That's smooth enough. Meziu says, I think Howard covered that thing about the artboard and paste at the last masterclass. He did without grouping though. Yeah, see, I know it's possible, and then there's like a weird thing that one little piece of detail that I keep missing when it comes to that. So, all right. Regardless, I'll figure it out before tomorrow, guys, and then that way we'll all learn together. We can finally get it right. Yeah, Fergie, that's what Igor used to do. He used to just group and keep one thing on the artboard, but there was one thing if you prototype before you move anything on the artboard, you're gonna be able to do that. I've done it a couple times in my projects, but I don't know why I can't recreate it here. So we have to ask the Howard. All right, so we have step 1 down. Next, we're gonna just duplicate this artboard, and we're just gonna keep going back. So next step that we have here, let's prototype. Let's see what we have. Wait, what just happened? All right. Reverse engineering the project, guys. So that's animation 1. Animation 2 are the animals and the text. All right, so what we're gonna do next is if you guys already have the starter file, you guys are gonna thank me because I literally put I gave you everything. So all these words are already in masks. So if you're planning to follow along just to learn the concepts of your new to XD, I have saved you plenty of time. All you need to do is take these texts, take this text, and just pull them down inside of their masks so that they're not seen. And I'll show you, for those of you who are like, all right, Brandon, well, what does that actually look like? Have no fear. We'll take a look at that, and I'll explain it in detail if you guys have questions. Umacorn, what is Umacorn? Hold on, what is the secret? I see you guys chatting in the chatting away, and I'm like, what is the secret, Umacorn? All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna just set this prototype up just very quickly so we can show you guys what exactly is happening. I have one more word to hide. All right, we prototyped already. Timing, 1 second delay. Now, I'm gonna go back to this artboard. I'm gonna just reduce the delay. I'm gonna just zero that out because we don't need the delay anymore. We don't need to see that animation because we're starting here. We're gonna do the delay here and have our animation. We'll start at 0.8 and we'll chop it down as we go and we get comfortable with what we have. Wait, but what is it? Yes, exactly, Chris. We are way smarter together. All right, so boom, text comes up. All right, so we have point A and point. We have our 3 animations so far. Now there's one piece. I'm gonna go back here really quickly. And I'm missing something. I'm really curious. I literally put this stuff together like last week, guys, and I'm like, how did Brandon animate this? All right. So I'm just going back and looking at this stuff. So let's see, boom. Aha! Got it. So I just closed. All right. So how I did this as well, gotta get a refresher, guys. You gotta keep the brain fresh. So what we're gonna do here is all these other pieces of content, I can very easily show you how these were made as well. It's very simple. All I did, if you look at these masks, there's a couple things in here. One, it's the mask itself. Underneath is our, is a group of images. It's a color. And we have the photo of a line, which is really just, I took one photo of a line and just took shapes, made shapes inside of, I'll just show you guys what I did. All right. Much easier than waving my hands in front of the camera. All right, so if you want to make shapes like this in XD, and you've never done them before, it's super simple. I am going to hold Alt and drag my little corner radius thing like this. Take my border off. I can find any sort of, I don't have a photo on here, but I could take any photo I wanted. Let's say, I'm gonna copy this. So this was the photo that I essentially, I'm just gonna copy it. I'm gonna see if I can, it doesn't work. But if I did, Adobe XD just like froze up on me. Okay. Oh, there we go, it worked. So I just copied and I did Control Alt V, or you on Mac would do Command Option V to paste your photo inside of the shape that you have. All right, so that's how you would do it if you want to actually kind of replicate what we have here on our own. All right, so next thing, we have these masks. All of this stuff is within a mask, and all we're going to do is we are going to take these masks, because everything in here is in a mask, and I'm just going to manipulate it and just pull it down. I'm gonna make sure that the height is about, I think we can do 0 for now. I think we can actually do a little bit more. I'm gonna try to make it so you can't really see it. And if you can't make it to where you can't see it, like right here, I'm sure you can't really see it. If you wanted to, you can turn the opacity all the way down too. So essentially that's all I'm doing. Just manipulating our masks. Making it so that we can't really see it. There we go. One last thing, boom. Mezzy, every time I look back at the chat, it's just like, name the layers, Brandon. Thanks for the timestamp, Fergie. I'm gonna have to take a look at that because that is something that keeps evading me every time. All right, so now we have our, let's take a look at this. We're gonna take a peek. So now we have our photos coming in, or our masks coming up, and our text coming into place. It was super simple. And all this is done is essentially through masks. So if you guys just watch or continue to rewatch this 30-minute segment and you download the starter file, everything is there for you to play with, and I hope that you guys can just apply these skills that we're learning here in 30 minutes, manipulating masks, and utilizing groups, and also utilizing what you guys are talking about in the chat, how to utilize prototyping to make some very interesting interactions. If I listen, as bad as listen, the one time I actually name all of my layers, guys, we will be, the most I will design is a line. Because the way I type, I probably won't even know. I'll be like, what is this layer again? Circle. Trust me, I'm doing you guys a huge favor. All right, next, how are we looking? Next, all we're gonna do is we're gonna animate our navigation in and our lines here. And that's pretty simple. So what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna get back to the designing mode here. We're gonna pull this off all the way, like a couple of pixels almost to the edge. Turn the opacity off. And we're going to do the same thing for here. Almost off the grid, or off our artboard here. Opacity off. And we are going to pull these. We're holding shift and we're just selecting our entire nav bar here. If I had thought ahead, I would totally have just grouped that entire thing. Actually, we can do that now. Gareth says, that's probably why my animations have looked janky. Yes, if it's so important, like this is just my workflow. But if you're new to XD, literally what Umacorn and Fergie and many other people in the chat, like if you know you're animating something, you must know exactly what your layers that you're animating, your assets that you're animating, they must have the same name. Because if they don't, you're gonna, yeah, it's not gonna work out too well. All right, so I've just selected all that. I moved it up and I turned the opacity down. And let's take a look at what we have, ladies and gentlemen. Why it's taking so long? Did we not prototype this? I don't think we did. We didn't. All right, so we're just gonna take this, drag it onto our artboard. Again, we're doing a time trigger. We'll do a delay of 1 second. And we're gonna take the delay of 1 second off of here because we want it to just go. Yeah, Gareth and anybody else, make sure when you are animating stuff, especially when you're moving things and you're saying, hey, we want this, just a quick example here. All right, if I have a circle, a red circle, and I'm like, all right, well, I want it to animate from artboard 1 to artboard 2, and we want it to go to the bottom and shrink. But if the ellipse, let's just call it C1. If C1 is what you're trying to move, and over here, it's not called C1, it's called ellipse 48, what you're gonna get is, so if we prototype this, boom, we move this, we try to, and let's see, what is the prototype tap? Yes, what's gonna happen, even if it is on auto animate, right? You're gonna get a transition look. Yeah, because Adobe XD is like, oh, that element doesn't exist anymore. So we're just gonna have to create it again. But if we name it the correct layer, C1, same prototype, look what we have. So naming layers is super important when it comes to animation. Hope that explains a lot there for you guys. Because I know my layers are like, because I have a lot of complexity happening, but I know what's going on. But for those of you guys, that's not a concept that we've really gone over. So thanks for your inquiry. All right. Let's look one more time. That went pretty fast. And we actually, all right. So boom, our lines come in, our letters or our type, our animals come in, and then our bar. Now there is a little bit of a glitch when it comes to this animal, and it's because I was playing around with it while we were talking. What is this? Rectangle 66. Okay. I don't know why it is moving that way. or it's glitching out like that. And I think it's because I was trying to explain to you guys how to make that shape. Oh, you know what it is? I know what it is. It's because I messed up. Yeah, because I accidentally squeezed this. Yeah, that's why. I accidentally flipped this. And I accidentally squeezed this shape here. So I'm just going to try to fix this really quick. Alright. It's not going to be the best fix, but we're going to deal with that. And we might actually have to deal with the, whatchamacallit. It's going to be really jacked up. Yeah. I accidentally flipped the photo. And we don't really have too much time to go back and fix that. But just make sure that you don't flip your photos by, it's super, I'll explain to you what I did. When I squeezed what is this? This mask, rather than just selecting my mask, I selected the entire group and I squeezed it. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to just pull down the rectangle, which is the mask. So, yeah, essentially what I did was I did this, I squeezed everything, and I reversed it. So just make sure you guys are clear on that. And I'm excited to see you guys put what you have for your challenge in the Discord. So with that said, let's talk about this. All right, so if you are here and you're like, all right, Brandon, I have something cool in XD. How do I export this stuff? Whether it's a video or photo. Very simple. You can select all your artboards. You can press Control E or Command E, and you can export either PNGs, SVGs, PDFs, JPEGs, and export them where you would like. When it comes to your animation, make sure you just press your prototype button. Whoops. Make sure you click where you start. And what you can do is, there's this little button here if you're on a Mac. It so beautifully just records your entire prototype. And if you're on PC or Windows, you can just simply either, there's still functionality here where you press Windows G and you can record your prototype, or if you're someone like me, I use a software called ScreenRec where I can just select parts of my screen and I can record my prototype, export it, save it to my desktop, and put it into a showcase in After Effects if I wanted to, or upload it to Behance. So with that said, if you are wanting to submit to your challenge this week or today, there's two places you can submit it. One in Behance, and just make sure if you're creating your project there that you use the tag XD Daily Creative Challenge. And two, in our amazing Discord, that we can actually check out some of the cool challenges from yesterday. And by the way, there was a couple MVPs here. Let's see. I love the sticky ice cream. Yesterday was slime animation, so I'm very happy to have seen some of you guys tackle that. Out of curiosity, how many people in the chat actually did this this slime challenge? I love the Cookie Monster. All right, guys, so we're about 1 minute in. Ooh, lazy girl with curls. Let me see what you got here. Love it. Yesterday was really fun, so I'm super excited to see what you guys put in terms of work today. And don't forget to submit it to our Discord. So with that said, guys, don't forget to like this video and come back tomorrow, same time, same place. All right, guys, that said, Brandon Groce, your favorite host, is out, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, guys, have a great day. See you later. Peace.